Hello. Oh wow, look.
What?
So many, so quickly.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
How are you all? Welcome to good luck, Darren Boy, your stand-up comedy in week's time. Well, hopefully that'll make you happy. We're here to discuss happiness. What makes you happy? Let's get the, just gonna get the old video up so we can see your comments. That's not working. Why can't we
Hi
see
all you lovely lot. Oh, we're all our familiar names. Hi everybody, lovely to see you. Yeah, I mustn't assume that you're all watching the Instagram live we just did. We put out a film earlier on today asking you what happiness meant to you.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be a really good chat for VLOGUARY today, rather than doing VLOGUARY, because Blue Monday and all the negativity that's around. Let's talk about, you know, what we think about it, what do we feel about it. And we've had such brilliant comments that we just wanted to read as many of them out as we could.
Remarkable, because I think I said in the film that we posted earlier today that this is like the holy grail for program makers in television. It's the holy grail for features writers in magazines. You'll see them all over, you know, the colour supplements, magazines, and dentist waiting rooms. You know, how to find happiness, the route to happiness. I mentioned also that, you know...
Well, one of the most Googled things, isn't it?
It's one of the most Googled things, yeah. And everyone has so many different, you know, ideas and thoughts. And you know, I've been thinking about it ever since we posted it earlier. And I was pulling down all of the, not all of the comments, but many of the comments. Happiness is spending time together, and it's a mindset. You know, the idea that it's an emotional state, or is it a sort of an emotional destination?
Yeah.
That's something that's cropped up a lot. But I have seriously... In all the years that I've been making programs, we often get information and feedback from viewers, don't we? We often, sometimes, you know, the channels will share with us the comments that people make about the programs that we make and the programs that we're in. It's a bit frightening for presenters because the people are very candid, aren't they? But I've never come across a more intelligent, thought-provoking bunch of comments than what came up
really
today.
Good.
I mean,
so we want to try and read as many as we can.
So we're going to read as many of them as we can out, and we're also going to share some of our thoughts, and hopefully we'll intercept some of the thoughts that you've got coming through.
Somebody said there, I didn't see who it was, I don't look for happiness anymore, I look for peace. Interesting.
Yeah,
peace brings me happiness.
Peace brings you, Todd the Bunny, my comment was negative and I almost deleted it because I got annoyed at myself as want to try and stop giving negative oxygen. I really need to stop. Well, actually, I think I did pull yours, Todd the Bunny. Scott Greengrass route to happiness is to watch GMB Lorraine this morning. Wow, I hope ITV are giving you shares. Happiness
let's
is having
kick off
happy
with some of the
kids.
ones
Now I home educate them. Just touching base with some of. Can I get a shout out? What's your right? Okay, so we're going to read out some of the comments that were made on our thing earlier today, and this is Patricia H. Do you want to go for this one?
And she says, happiness is a state of mind. To me, it's being healthy and sunshine and nature and stopping during the day and being thankful and appreciating life. Also, inner peace, which I found in my religion. Oh, sometimes I really envy people that have religion. I don't have one.
Faith.
I'm putting a smile on a child's face.
A state of mind, being healthy and sunshine and nature and stopping during the day. Yeah, you see, all of those things I associate with happiness, but weirdly, a lot of those things I find quite intimidating. I feel like Miss Blue 68, I feel like happiness is in experiences, not things. Having a laugh with family, horse riding, holidays. Now, some experiences require money, but not all. Sometimes you have to choose to be happy despite trying circumstances.
That's true. I definitely quite regularly choose to be happy. Like, I might wake up and not be happy at all.
Well, a lot of people
were
quite driven by that when you said that.
I'm just going to, where is it? There it is. And I'll just...
We're live,
say,
Mum.
for instance, I go out and I talk to somebody, however miserable I feel, I'll make myself be really happy, and then they respond happily back to you, and then it grows and it feeds.
I love it when, because I think there's a lot of pressure that if you're not feeling happy, you're somehow lacking.
No, God, you've got to have all the different emotions, haven't you?
Well, no, you do, but I mean, I think it's often the case that I think there can be a bit of happy bullying. I think there can be a bit of bullying around happiness, that if you're not happy, there's something insufficient in you. And there's something really nice about meeting someone and someone very unexpectedly making you feel happy. Do you know what I mean? You know, you can be sort of surprised by a situation. I mean, sometimes happiness is about just being kind in everyday situations. I make a real effort with everyone I meet in shops to be really kind to them. And that
I
actually
do as
makes
well.
me feel
Everybody
happy.
I meet out,
Yeah.
getting so many nice things coming up now live
Go
of
for
what
it.
makes people a relaxing bath. My sister makes me happy every day. My animal rescue makes me happy.
Seeing other people happy.
I think
Amber,
the
Bethany.
thing is that we have to know that happiness is worthless without also sadness and anger and all the other
You
things
need the
that come with it.
contrast, don't you? You need the contrast.
The things we don't need are bitterness, bitchiness, gossipness. It's those things that, but all the other like.
Well, Ali Prentice says, I think happiness is simply peace of mind. I'm usually happy when I'm alone, as I like my own company and there's no one there to irritate me. I'm often surrounded by miserable people, which wears me down and makes me feel unhappy. I lost my mum and dad in the last 2 years, so it's really tough not having their positivity and happiness around me.
But you are, because you're holding it in you. You obviously, when you're on your own, you can do that. That's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, it is hard. I mean, sometimes being in amongst other people, it's hard to maintain happiness. I mean, you know, that's when it's, you know, that's when perhaps a part of happiness. I mean, it's really interesting. A lot of people have talked about the fact that happiness isn't a state of being.
No.
And that if it you know, isn't something that you can completely sort of occupy or own for a long period of time. The dog always wants out, guys. We'll be up and down all night if we let her in and out.
She's mucking us about.
She's mucking us
tonight.
about, yeah.
She came in like 2 minutes
She's
ago.
happy when she's in, and then she's happy when she's
She's
out.
out because you can be standing at the door getting us to get up again.
And then she's happy when she's in. A lot of people have
And our
talked about
trainer
animals
said he's got
today.
to stop. She's got to stop. We've got to stop pandering.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about the happiness they get from animals. I can see that. Sometimes when I really need to de-stress, I can do that if I just lie with the dogs and stroke them and they haven't rolled in fox shit and stink. The woman behind the till at Costa Coffee. I often try and spread happiness in Costa Coffee. I always do. I don't know why. There seems to be something about Costa Coffee where the staff are struggling, so I like to give them a bit of a smile. Joanna Lewis-Brown said, I was going to tell you how I moved from Bristol, completely stressed, to the countryside, got a couple of dogs and started a dog-sitting business, and that made me happy. But on thinking, that's made me content. Is that happiness? How do you define happiness and contentment?
Well, you see, contentment
I don't
to
think you're
me
ever content.
is a gorgeous sounding thing.
It
And
is,
I
isn't
do
it?
feel like the other day I had a whole day where I felt content, and I said to Kiki, God, I feel really happy. Just why I said, I just feel like everything's okay, and that is contempt. To me, contentment is a huge
I
part
think you
of
said
happiness.
contempt.
It's funny, isn't it? As you get older, contentment
Yeah.
is important, whereas when I was younger, happiness was about going out, was about getting reactions and responses and people responding to me in a certain way. But now it's more about inner peace and things being all right and the ones you love being okay.
Some of 48-100, you say happiness is not a constant state, it's a passing emotion. Contentment is intertwined with gratitude,
Yeah,
I believe,
I
and no
believe
matter
that.
what, if you help others, this will always bring a state. I agree. I think helping others is a massive part of it. I think doing things for other people is a major part of happiness. I begin to wonder whether, if you're happy truly on your own, is that happiness? Is that
It was
something
funny,
else?
the other day I was a bit of a mood. I was coming back on Clapham Junction. Clapham Junction is so packed. And there was this woman going up the stairs. She had a toddler in front and she was trying to bounce. She was bouncing up her buggy up the stairs. And there was I was quite far behind her and there was loads of people going around her. And I was knackered and I had a really heavy bag. And I was just like, oh, I ought to help her. Anyway, went over and said help. And she looked at me and just her eyes were just like, oh, thank you. And I lifted up this buggy with such strength, got her to the top, and I practically skipped back onto the end. I just felt so, it just feels good when you help out other people because you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, a lot.
So I think there's a lot in that.
Leo, hello, lovely Leo. Getting into my art makes me happy, but I can make myself do art, but the happiness comes as I get lost in it. So
that.
happiness can be sort of almost existential escape.
Here's Landry for game. We love
game.
so many of your comments. We always read all your comments.
Yeah.
You're so articulate and thoughtful.
I liked this one.
Yeah. Personally, I'm more interested in moments of joy and less by happiness. Happiness is too theoretical
concept.
as a concept, but joy is very much accessible. Every day there is something very unreachable about happiness. It is almost unrealistic in the sense that it is based on the assumption that life can be without problems. Go on, you carry on.
If you don't have problems and issues, that probably means you're dead. So I'm not interested in happiness. On the other hand, joy is very accessible. You usually know how to get those moments if you pay attention a little bit. Those moments are easy to identify, to recognise and to relive, and you can actually manage to make them occur as much as you want.
And
I
I like the
agree.
way you stress the point of moments of joy, because then
Yes.
people want joy all the time. It's where and we keep saying we're going to do this with the kids, and we haven't done it, where we get them each day to write something they're grateful for, something that made them happy, and something that made them sad.
Yeah.
Because I think, as much as that's great for us, it's great for them, because we teach them right from a young age to recognise how you feel, and that all those feelings in a day are all valid, aren't they? And they all feed each other.
Well, I'm going to go off on a tangent. We did a review today of Beautiful Boy. Me, Nanny Di, and Maddie went to see it, and obviously it's all about addiction, and it's about a guy addicted to crystal meth, but he's addicted to all sorts of drugs. And you know, the idea behind drugs, if you think of the smiley face of acid and all that kind of stuff, is all about finding happiness. So the danger with thinking, as Landry says, about, you know, happiness is something you can almost purchase, you can almost get, and you could become addicted to it. But it's a kind of fool's gold type of happiness. But I do think that the pursuit of happiness is at the heart of a lot of the origins of drugs, because a lot of the origin stories of drugs come from a sort of meditative culture of sort of, you know, trying to get at one with nature and all this kind of stuff. So in a modern day society, you know, drugs and alcohol becomes a fool's gold. We all run at it thinking it will give us happiness. But how many times have we thought that first drink will make us happy?
Yeah.
Do you know
there
what I mean?
was quite a few interesting things there.
Yeah,
Somebody just did the simple sentence, what about fun? Which is a good question.
There you go, June. What
is
about
fun happiness? Is that the same thing?
Well, you see, fun, I find, is something, that could be another topic, but fun is something that, I sometimes feel like one has to have if someone says, have fun. I'd always feel it's a bit like an instruction, fun. It's like when I see the word funfair, the one thing I'm not going to have is fun.
Think, is fun happiness?
Is fun happiness? Fun is exciting. Happiness isn't necessarily exciting. Happy feeling, Ashley, is nice, but most of the time for me it only lasts about an hour or so.
That's good.
That's not bad.
An hour is good.
Happy is inner peace.
That's a nice message from Lisa.
Lisa, this channel is going to grow beyond belief, and that makes me happy for you guys. Oh, that's very sweet.
You can connect with
us,
your
vloguarettes.
vloguarettes, and that is key. So happy for you. Oh, that's so lovely.
I wish I had a mum as kind and caring as Nadia. Champion.
Can you please tell my daughter that?
Can I just read Darren Twine's comment from earlier?
Me.
Darren Twine, what makes me happy is to see other people happy. Seeing my partner, who was born deaf and disabled, has special needs, can't speak, but when she smiles and laughs, it makes me so happy I forget my problems from day to day.
God.
That I can put the back of my mind being a carer full-time can be rewarding. Oh, well, there you go. And again, that's about gratitude.
Oh, my goodness.
I think there is something in these kind of... I do think, you know, social media gets a lot of kind of criticism, and I think the whole screen time thing, we're going to talk about it on one of our confessions of a modern parent. Should we be looking at our screens so much? But I do think that being able to talk like this and hear that what other people have gone through, makes you realise how maybe spoilt you're being, you know, when you're not being happy and things like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
What did I just see there? I'm not sure what happiness really means, Angela Mass. I know that when I have a time in the country and get that close to earth feeling of freedom, I get a rush of emotions.
I would be, when I'm by the sea or when I'm walking in the countryside, those are my happiest moments. Without a doubt, I'm never happier than when I'm walking by the sea.
Susie Salter.
Just at peace, that contentment would.
Yeah. Susie Salter, is happiness not possible to maintain? I think it is a fleeting...
I don't think you have to maintain it. I think what Landry said is true. It's moments of joy. That's what happiness is.
Happiness is not an emotion that lasts, and perhaps what you're looking for is inner peace. Big difference. A moment or a thing or a person can make you feel happy, but it passes. Peace is the quietness inside you that can be achieved by leaving all the desires. You can be happy by fulfilling your desires and ambitions in life. However, you can attain peace in life by leaving all the desires of life. People with inner peace never overthink nor analyze every situation. Wake up each day to gratitude. Don't dwell.
Don't dwell, Mark.
No, don't dwell.
You're the worst dweller.
I'm a terrible dweller.
Oh my God. But gratitude, and the problem is with you, whenever I say to you, have more gratitude, you always think I'm saying to you
I'm spoiled.
that you're a spoilt brat, and I'm really not.
I'm a spoilt bastard. I do always feel there's a slightly reprimandatory tone to the way you say it, though.
I'm a spoiled brat. I just think that it is the key, and it truly is.
Zoe Agnew, hello, my dear.
Hello.
I think we put so much pressure. I do think, though, for all of this,
Put so much pressure on with what?
that we
Ourselves
put a lot
with
of
the word
pressure on
happiness.
ourselves with the word happiness. I do think these words and terms can become, and Dorney, overthinking kills all happiness. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Do you ever get that thing where, Maddie said this the other day, it broke my heart. She said, oh God, I have moments of happiness, and then it crashes in. And Mark said, yeah, that's exactly what happens to me. And it's like, it's the overthinking. You've got to just go with it.
But if happiness is a temporary state of being, whenever I get close to happiness, I think something awful has to be incoming and it's going to end it.
Yeah, well, I do get that.
I mean,
I try and fight against
I feel
that.
like I get blips of happiness. I don't ever get a consistent amount of happiness.
But we're also, I think we should talk about anger as well as an emotion.
Because anger leads to hate.
And hate leads to...
Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, all these emotions are valid. We wouldn't be sitting here saying, oh, well, anger's only a moment. It's not all the time,
no.
Would we? And neither should we with happiness.
Yeah.
We should just see it as part of our emotional life, not all of it.
This one I really liked, because Nadia's been banging on about this for years. Sabina Burney, if correct, I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Banging on, or could we find a different...
Well, no, in a good way. I think banging on correctly. I think people's happiness in general would be better if there was more positive news on TV and online media. You often say that, don't you? Remember you were campaigning for a good news channel.
Good news channel, yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
For example, even though the headlines for months have been about Brexit, which terrifies me and sends anxiety levels through the roof, it would be nice to hear something light-hearted at the end of the bulletin. Well, ITN News always used to do that, and finally, didn't they?
Yeah.
The and finally
But they found
story.
that people were turning off, and the viewing figures plummeted, so they stopped doing it.
Oh, that's
and
a good point.
They say in journalism and everything, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
The story leads. They want the misery.
Share-
Because there's so many more good people in the world than there are bad. So many more.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to tell a story
This
of
is
the guy
becoming-
that helped the old lady across the street, or saw a £50 note that had been dropped to the floor and took it into the police station. These things happen all the time.
Yeah.
We're only going to hear about the muggings.
Yeah, because they don't rate.
Yeah.
Cher Phillips, this is getting really philosophical. Look at my hair. My hair's going nuts because it can't cope with what's coming through. Cher Phillips says, it's like people say happy birthday, happy new year, happy Christmas. It puts more pressure for you to make these
God,
things
never thought of
happy
that.
rather than just being in the moment. Yeah, I think we should just say birthday.
Maybe that's why Maddie hates so much anyone singing happy
She
birthday.
does, doesn't she?
She said it's so much pressure and it just goes on and on and on
Yeah,
and on.
yeah.
And she said you don't know what to do with your face and you have to smile but you don't know how to smile. She says, and then when people sing it really slowly, happy birthday.
Yeah.
She said it's just torturous. So she wouldn't let me give her a cake on her birthday.
Yeah.
Because of it. And maybe it is. It's that you're going to be happy
I do think,
today.
Yeah. I also think that there's the suggestion that, and I feel this always, the pressure of a birthday. I think society says to you, you can only feel happy for this period of time. It's your birthday.
This is the time now
You're
you've got to be
allowed.
happy.
Sorry, I'm sorting my
That's
hair.
why I'm always
You're allowed
depressed
to
on my
be
birthday.
happy. You're like, I don't want to be happy now. It doesn't work like that. Sarah Willis said earlier today, we need to stop saying I'll be happy when. Live in the
Yes.
present. A key to my happiness is also finding a work-life balance and not being a victim and being able to say no when necessary.
Very important.
Very good. Be compassionate with
Very
ourselves.
important.
Love ourselves, warts and all, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Small pleasures can lift our mood.
I think there's really something in there on being the martyr as well, because if you can't say no, that's fine as long as you're going to enjoy it. But if you can't say no and it's going to cause you like, oh, well, I've just done this bloody thing, then you really are taking...
Absolutely. Well, another final
the
point,
joy.
Sarah, I love your post. You say, dealing with people who are mean and negative can affect our happiness and we can't avoid them. Right. But we can determine our reaction to them. You say that to me a lot. And that kicks into those that mind...
Don't matter, those that matter don't
Don't
mind. I wish
mind.
you could learn it. I've said it back to you about 5,000 times.
I tell you what, I rediscovered the Al-Anon 3 C's again today. I didn't cause it, I can't control
cure
it, and I can't cure it. Love that. That's for Al-Anon. People who are addicts and alcoholics. Sandra G, to me, happiness is being content. I think being content is very underrated. Some people think if you're content, it means you're just settling or sounds boring. I feel there's pressure on us that we are only happy if you jump around for joy. I'm with you on that. It's like the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. I want to shoot his brains out and I want to run away. There you go. When the sun has got his hat on, I want to fire arrows at him. It doesn't make me happy, the sun.
I always want to play when the sun
Yeah, but
comes
that's
out.
so arrogant in his yellow happiness.
I like it. It's so
I wanna
awful to be
punch
married to
him in his
somebody that when
happy
the
face.
sun comes out, I have to think he's going to make him miserable.
Hiding in the loo at work to watch you. Chrissy!
Yay, Chrissy!
Chrissy! Is it echoey
Chrissy,
in
get out
there?
of the toilet!
Are you in a cubicle?
Chrissy's in the toilet!
That's so cool. Hello? Anyone in there? Lisa Wakefield is the little things that make me happy when I get in from work and my dogs are so happy to see me. Putting your slippers on after a really long day. Oh.
We've got this funny little plug-in fire.
I love that thought.
And something that makes me really happy in the morning, because I used to hate getting up in the morning when everyone else was still asleep. But now, I put that little fire on and I sit next to it with a cup of tea. Oh my God, it makes me so happy. And I put my snuggly slippers on that Mark bought me. And it's so lovely.
Aww.
Joyful.
Yeah.
When the dogs are quiet and they really lie me and I just stroke them and I let myself be mindful in that minute, that's a moment of joy. Going back to Landry, that's happiness. Where are all the little moments? It doesn't have to be. I mean, Ashley says he's only happy for an hour. An hour is a long time.
Ali Prentice says that galaxy counters make them happy. So do they me when I'm allowed to eat them. Nick T, we are here for such a minute speck of time. I'm going to try to get as much enjoyment and contentment as I can and try not to... Oh my God, Nick T. Advice for life there. However brief our brief life is. I just can't do it.
Nick, I wish you were here on Sunday, because on Sunday he went, oh my God, I hate Sundays, because it means Monday's coming and I hate Mondays. And I said to him, hang on a minute, imagine if you were dying today. How much would you want to see Monday?
Well, of course.
And that's in that.
Of course.
It's saying, here I am.
But it's
this
very
is great
hard.
right
But
now.
it's very hard, as I was saying to the girls today. You know, Maddie was making an interesting observation about the boy who has addiction problems in the film, and a lot of people have criticised Beautiful Boy because they say he's got no trauma in his life. Why is he an addict?
It doesn't work
You know,
like that.
yeah, but life doesn't work like. It's very hard actually to think, okay, someone else has got this experience, because it's not you. You can only really go on what's in your own head and what you're experiencing.
I have to talk to Joanna Lewis Brown, who
yes.
says, taking off my bra at the end of the day makes me happy.
Makes me happy too when she does.
That is perfection. Those moments of joy, like you know, when you, in the very, very rare occasion when I've actually washed the sheets and you get into clean sheets,
Ooh.
getting in, just snuggling down into clean sheet, joyful. The perfect temperature. Today, somebody made me the perfect cup of tea. I haven't had such a good cup of tea in about 2 years, and it was joyful. That cup of tea was utterly joyful.
Sam Salisbury, I have anger issues and feel angry almost 24/7. Even when I'm happy, it's still lingering in the background.
No.
If people are happy around me, it makes me even more angry. Wow.
Oh my God,
We're going to talk about anger.
Sam, you really should think about going on an anger management course. You need help that, because there must have been something that's gone on that's created that anger in you. And that's so, I mean, anger is a valid emotion, but you don't want it all the time. That sounds like you're really suffering.
Yeah.
You should go to your doctor and ask for some help with that.
Yeah, Nicole McLeish and a few others have asked, does therapy or counselling work or help? It can do. It can do.
It's not the Holy Grail.
And also it's
helped me.
It's not also a guarantee. I tell you what, sometimes I felt much sadder after therapy, but sometimes you need to go down in order to come back up, because often what's making you unhappy, because we haven't really mentioned the unhappy word, have we? We're talking about happiness.
That's for a different day.
Yeah, but
when you're doing one
what
emotion
makes
at a
you
time.
unhappy, you need to sometimes face some shit, and you need to get real with that shit. And I do think that in a culture where everything has to happen quickly, there is a great sort of, I think, tendency to think we need to fix things easily and quickly. Some of the greatest things to achieve in life, and I think happiness might be one of them, come out of great graft and fucking soul searching, I tell you.
And also it can be very easy. I saw somebody just go up there saying, Happy by Pharrell makes her happy when she plays it. And that's music can... Sorry, I'm hiccuping now because I'm trying to eat that apple and talk to you. Like yesterday when I did that dance on our Instagram feed, when I did Raining Men, and I hadn't danced that for ages. I was in sheer joy.
Yeah, you were.
For those 2 minutes. I didn't give a shit what I looked like.
No.
I didn't care. I was in my joy. So yeah, definitely music can give us joy. Every time I say to you, come on, let's put on a tune, have a bit of dance, you always say no. And then a second later, you're dancing and you're in joy.
Yeah. Sarah Charitos, this is such a curious subject. I can't remember ever being really happy, and I'm afraid of being happy now because of the huge low I feel after it. I really related to that when I read that. I always dread the low. And in fact, when I'm happy, in inverted commas, in the house, not that you say it in a horrible way, but there's often, sometimes it's said, one worries. I can feel the house worries that there's going to be the low that comes after it. So, yeah, almost embracing happiness. There's that sort of yin and yang thing of knowing it can't last forever, and you almost don't want to embrace it. It's almost like if you don't allow yourself to be happy, you can't allow yourself to be
You have
unhappy.
to have both. And look, Ashley Roberts says, music is 50-50 for me. The song lifts my mood, but the wrong song triggers bad memories and can bring me right down.
Ashley, 100% the same for me.
But, you see, the way I immediately look at that is, but for 50% of the time, it gives you joy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
absolutely.
I would immediately go to that and say, that's not bad.
Now, Todd the Bunny said earlier it was too negative, but there was something in what you said, Todd the Bunny, that I really liked. Only people with money say money can't make you happy.
I think that's true.
I think that's very true. I think it's incredibly true. And I thought, but you said you didn't really want to go on about the negative stuff.
But what I would say is that I know many very wealthy people I have met. I haven't got friends that are very, I have met and there's some people in my family that are extremely wealthy. And I can't say that, I wouldn't say any of them are happy. The people that I know that are wealthiest are not the happiest. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Oh, there was...
do you want that one back?
Who's that?
That's...
that is to go down.
Sorry, we're just pulling up
Sarah, who's our...
I love Yasmin Webb. This was great. There is an old African proverb: when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm.
Oh, that's so true.
That's a corker.
I love that.
The greatest obstacles a person will ever face are their own fears, their own doubts, and their own conditioned thoughts.
And their own self-critic.
Yeah.
If you've got a nasty fucker living in your brain telling you horrible things, get them the hell out of there. Throw away the key. Kick them out.
I think things, this is Marie Williams, I think things on a daily basis creates your mood. You can wake up feeling happy and think, yeah, I'm happy, my life's great. Then you can later that day cross paths with someone who's a total tit. That's not what she says, actually, it's what I say. And treats you in a not nice way, or you open mail you don't want, then you suddenly think, my life is shit. I think happiness is a moment, not a lifetime or a way of life. See, this is important because I think by acknowledging it's not a destination and it's not a way of life, you potentially, I think, the route to happiness is accepting happiness doesn't really exist. Do you get me?
I do.
I think suggesting that happiness doesn't exist as a place and a thing means that you have a real chance. It's a bit like the Holy Grail. You know how they constantly try and find the Holy Grail and it doesn't really exist? But it does. But it doesn't. But it does, and that's the funny thing.
Do you know what I'm just thinking of? I only learnt this because of Mark going to the Priory.
Yeah.
And we've taken the God thing out because we're not religious.
Not formally religious,
but it's a prayer.
But yeah, it's a prayer.
And it goes, 1, 2, 3 together. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
And for me, the most important line is the wisdom to know the difference.
Because it's saying to you, don't keep fighting for something you can't have. Have the serenity. I love that prayer. One day, I hope to live by it. I do say it almost every day to myself. But I suppose something must be leaking in. But it's a really good one. When you feel overwhelmed, we'll put it up actually. Or if you want to Google it, the Serenity Prayer. And I find it really, really helps.
Karen Morland, you're getting me through the past week and a half with your vlogs. My sister died suddenly. I'm so sorry, Karen. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. Again, it's just, you know, everyone is going through, you know, what they're going through. Robbie Williams says that prayer before he goes on stage. Yeah. Funny memes make me happy. Yeah, there are the lighter things in life in the day that can make me happy. I mean, sometimes just, you know, I tell you who makes me happy quite often is Nanny Di.
Making people laugh. That's true.
That's true.
Really
I love making people laugh. But Nanny Di sometimes makes me very happy when she comes out with a little tail. Last night, she felt there was something in her ear and she shoved her finger into her ear and she pulled out what she thought was the biggest piece of wax. It was a honey-coated cashew that had dropped in her ear that she was eating from the night before.
You're joking. That makes me happy.
That makes me happy.
Ali Pearson. I worry that I will be on my deathbed. It will only be when I'm on my deathbed that I would only truly understand what happiness really was. But don't just be in the moment now. Wouldn't that be awful? Don't wait until you're on your deathbed.
I know what you mean. That's my fear. I think my fear is that I'll only truly know what serenity is. I think serenity is another conversation. But I think I'll only know what serenity is when it's too late. Yeah. Oh, look, hang on. Landry Fogeng. Sorry, how do we pronounce your surname? Fogeng? I think that song also makes Maddie happy. Fuck You by Lily Allen gives me so much joy.
Yeah, I love that song.
Lorraine, a couple of the last comments from earlier. Lorraine Pamant, with age comes wisdom sometimes. I am much happier now. I know what you mean. Nadia often says that.
We're supposed to be watching Cold Feet.
Oh, Christ, are we? Why?
Because we're going to review it. It's the new series.
Are we? I didn't even know this.
No, I had the whole conversation in my head and never told you.
Oh, right, I didn't know. Okay, well, is it recording?
No.
Oh, that's annoying.
But everyone wants to watch.
But I love this idea that getting older comes. You often talk about being happier. Would you say you're happier now than you were when you were younger?
It just changes.
Does it?
I think it's just different.
Do you think you're happier with me than you've been in any other situation in your life? Do you think I bring you happiness, or am I just a miserable old bastard?
No, you are a miserable old bastard.
Lucy A says, now I really related to this because this is how I feel, Lucy A. I feel reluctant to let myself feel happy sometimes. I think we are tricked into thinking that there's a limited time for happiness in adulthood because of the responsibilities we are often faced with. I'm happiest when I let myself be more childlike. I am too, actually, such as when I wrap myself up in a blanket, dance around to music and allow myself to enjoy life. I love making the family laugh. I'm happy when I make the family laugh.
Oh, well, listen, thank you. Food for thought. You are a brilliant lot. Thank you so much.
I love that.
If you're new and you've just visited us, please subscribe to the channel. If you've enjoyed this film, please hit like. And tomorrow we'll be back with another edited vloguary.
So are you saying we're going to be reviewing Cold Feet later tonight?
See you on the red carpet, Ashley. I don't know if we're going to do it later tonight. We've missed the beginning now, so...
Right, okay. Well, Cold Feet is our new series, but also 3 film reviews coming through in rapid succession. Mary, Queen of Scots, Glass, and Beautiful Boys. So that'll be landing too.
And if you haven't joined us on our Popcorn Junkie Instagram account,
go there.
See us there for like nice bits
little
of gossip
exclusives and sillinesses. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Seriously, that was one of the most rewarding engagements I think I've ever had.
Loved it.
Yeah.